I just got back from class, and before class, I was flagging down a taxi cab in front of the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, where I covered the first two games of day number two of the Big East tournament, the quarterfinal round. My first game, the top-ranked Providence Friars taking on the ninth-ranked Butler Bulldogs in this tournament. Providence walked away with the win, 65-61, thanks to a huge three by Al Durham, who was a game-time decision today, as well as a dunk from Durham and an assist from Big East Sixth Man of the Year, Jared Bynum. But it was Nate Watson absolutely feasting in the paint for 26 points, 7 rebounds. Ed Cooley's team had played a really good game in the end, but most of the game, Butler was really giving it to him. I mean, Chuck Harris showed up and he dropped more than a few big buckets from distance, but Ed Cooley, to his credit, recognized that the crowd could be an asset now. A shout out to Ron Jothstein, one of the more interesting Twitter accounts that you'll find out there. One of his hilarious tweets is Providence, the fear of the Friar planet has been recognized. And that was as true as it could have possibly been today. Madison Square Garden for that first game with about 19,000 plus in the building, sold out, and about 90% of the crowd was Friar fans. And Ed Cooley multiple times during the game hyping up the crowd and going like this, getting everyone on their feet. Friar Nation was living it up at the Garden, and they really pushed the team over the edge today. And Ed Cooley in the postgame even said it felt like they were playing a game at the Dunkin' Donuts Center, Providence's home base out in Rhode Island. But nonetheless, the Friar faithful showing out today at the Garden. But a really good effort from Laval Jordan's squad and the Butler Bulldogs, and the cutest little mascot, Butler Blue, was out there today doing his thing for the Bulldogs. And game number two, in the game in which the Friars would be facing the winner of this Creighton Marquette game, the Blue Jays pull away 74-63, thanks in large part to 4 Blue Jays going into double-digit scoring today. Ryan Hawkins leading that charge. Ryan Clark-Brenner also doing a lot of damage inside of the paint. And the thing with Creighton that I noticed quite well is how well they love to wait and make good shots. They love to take high-quality looks. They love to move the ball around the perimeter. They never try to force anything up, and that's something Marquette was doing a lot today from three-point land, was forcing up a lot of threes. Now, very uncharacteristic-ish from a Shaka Smart team, and defensively they were a little bit shaky at times, but little 7-point spurts got them back into the game. But it was ultimately an 8-0 run that propelled the Blue Jays over the Golden Eagles to win the quarterfinal game. And the Creighton Blue Jays will face off against the number 1 seed Providence Friars in the semifinal game tomorrow on Friday. As I'm recording this, it is Thursday, and I cannot wait to see what unfolds in the next few days. I'm going to be at the championship game on Saturday with Tyler Hu and Ryan Gregware, so make sure you guys turn on post notifications for my Twitter account at RealTIello. I'm going to be tweeting like an absolute madman. You do not want to miss it. The Big East is perhaps the most exciting conference tournament in all of college basketball, and being held at Madison Square Garden only enhances the product itself. But for now, I'm going to sign off. I will see you guys on Saturday.
What's going on, everyone? Danny Scott here at the end of day number 2 of the Big East tournament at Madison Square Garden. You know, we saw 2 really fun matchups tonight. St. John's lost by 1 point to Villanova, and then UConn wins by 10 over Seton Hall. In the first game, Villanova, you know, it really looked like St. John's was going to walk away on top with this one. They dominated the game early on, got out to a huge lead, and then Villanova goes on a 26-5 run to take the lead. From there, it was back and forth, and Villanova, the ranked team, finds themselves in position to win the game, and that's exactly what they do. They showed why they are the number 8 team in the nation and why they're going to be a top 3 seed in this year's March Madness tournament. For Villanova, they were led offensively by Caleb Daniels, who walks away with 19 points and 7 rebounds. First team All-Big East guard Colin Gillespie had a decent game, not his best game, you would say. He has 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. For St. John's, little bit of a bittersweet night for Julian Champagny. He may have played his final college basketball game. He's only a sophomore, but he is going to get drafted most likely this year and be in the NBA in the coming season. He walks away tonight with 23 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals. If St. John's was able to walk away with this one, he would most likely be in contention for the Big East player of the MVP of the tournament. He had a great game last night, another great game tonight. However, it was not enough. Villanova walks away in this one, and we'll move on to face UConn, who we're going to talk about now. In the second game, UConn took care of business. They walk away with a 10-point victory over Seton Hall. And you know, it really looked like UConn was in control of this game from the opening tip. Seton Hall comes into this one after a late game last night against Georgetown, and Georgetown notoriously bad in Big East play this year. Coming into last night's game 0-20, they end up 0-19, they end up 0-20. The game looked like it took a lot out of the Pirates. Jared Rhoden, who is another first-team All-Big East player, he walks away with only 7 points and 6 rebounds. This is a guy that has been playing great all year, and you know, it just was not enough for the Pirates. Miles Cale, however, had a good night. He walks away with 17. For the Huskies, they were led by another first-team All-Big East player, R.J. Cole. He finishes with 17. Tyrese Martin also finishes with 17 in this one. I think that is just gonna about do it for me here from Madison Square Garden. I will be here tomorrow night for Providence versus Creighton and Villanova versus UConn. You can check out my Twitter, dscott_33, for any updates that you missed tonight or from last night, and for the game coming up tomorrow. I will be with Tom Quigley, but I think that's just going to about wrap it up for me. Have a good one, everyone, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow night.